Good day, future CPAs. We are the U.N.O group, and in today's discussion, we're going to talk about provisions, contingent liabilities, and contingent assets. This topic is under past 37, so now, let's discuss what is a provision. A provision is a liability of uncertain timing or amount. Ang keyword dito is yung word na uncertain. Uncertain meaning di mo tukoy. Ang alin? Yung timing or amount ng obligation mo. Kailan mo siya dapat isettle or kung magkano mo dapat isettle yung liability mo. Kaya ang provision is an estimated liability. Ano ang pinagkaiba ng provision sa other liabilities? Compared to other liabilities like accounts payables, notes payable, yung mga liabilities na yan may certain factors. Like alam mo kung kailan mo dapat isettle, alam mo yung maturity and yung amount ng liability mo na yon. Provision, sabi nga natin kanina, uncertain yung timing or amount. Ang provision, pinapresent siya sa financial position separately from other types of liabilities. Examples of provisions include warranty obligations, estimated liabilities on pending lawsuits, provisions for environmental damages, and the like. Next, how do we recognize a provision? Para ma-recognize as a provision, dapat lahat ng criteria na to ma-meet. The first criteria is, kailangan yung entity may present obligation arising from past event. Present obligation meaning it is a liability at the end of the reporting period that we need to recognize. Present obligation arising from past events creates obligating events. It is either a legal or constructive obligation. Pag legal, it results from contracts or by operation of law. Pag constructive naman, it results from an entity's actions like past practices. Next criteria. There must be a probable outflow of economic benefits. Let's put emphasis dun sa word na probable. Probable means more likely than not. Ibig sabihin, kailangan may 51% pataas na chance of occurrence. And yung last criteria na kailangan din ma-meet is that the amount of the obligation can be reliably estimated. So dapat na-estimate mo yung obligation mo reliably. Contingent liability. It is a present obligation pero hindi siya probable or hindi siya reliably estimated kaya hindi siya nire-recognize. Instead, dinidisclose lang natin siya sa notes. Contingent asset. Hindi rin siya nire-recognize dahil hindi niya na-meet lahat ng criteria so therefore, i-disclose lang natin siya sa notes when inflow is probable. Contingent asset includes possible inflows of economic benefit. Let's have an illustrative example sa contingent asset and contingent liable. Let's say company ABC has filed a lawsuit against company XYZ for infringing a patent. There is a decent chance that company ABC will win the case and receive payment for damages. Dahil may decent chance sa company ABC na manalo dun sa case at makareceive ng payment for damages, it has a contingent asset. On the other hand, si company XYZ, meron naman siyang contingent liability. And both are disclosed in the company's notes to financial statement. If virtually certain naman or may almost 100% chance na makaka-receive ka ng income, i-recognize na siya and therefore treated na siya as an asset. And for us to recall yung mga diniscuss natin kanina, ito yung summary. When there is a present obligation and amounts can be estimated reliably, the following guidelines shall apply. Kapag ang liability mo is probable, then it is recognized and disclosed. Treated siya as a provision. If possible naman, disclosed lang, then treated siya as a contingent liability. Kapag remote, ignored. Asset, if probable, i-disclose siya sa notes and treated siya as a contingent asset. Kapag naman possible or remote, ignore. Measurement. Paano ba natin mini-measure ang provision? As a general rule, yung provision mini-measure siya at the best estimate. It requires the use of management judgment. It is also used in one-off event or single obligation. Illustrative example. In 2020, AXCO received a court order requiring the cleanup of environmental damages caused by one of AX's factory. AX has no other realistic alternative but to comply with the court order. Other entities have incurred around 25 million for similar cleanup. However, AX's best estimate of the cost of cleanup is 30 million. Una, analyze muna natin kung i-recognize mo ba siya as a provision. Una, may present obligation ba? Yes, meron kasi nakapag-cause na siya ng environmental damages. Second, probable ba? Yes, kasi walang ibang alternative si AXCO kundi mag-comply dun sa court order. Lastly, na-estimate ba siya reliably? Yes, naka-indicate sa problem yung narrative na best estimate of 30 million. Dahil yes lahat ng sagot mo, a provision must be accrued and disclosed in the amount of 30 million or yung nakalagay na best estimate sa problem. Expected value. If the provision involves a large population of items, ang ginagamit naman nating measurement basis is expected value or probability weighted average. Illustrative example, in 2019, Lopez store recalled the product due to a possible defect caused by malfunctioning factory equipment. The products recalled will be repaired free of charge. Lopez is uncertain whether all products recalled will have the possible defect. However, the following estimate was made by Lopez engineers and managerial accountants and approved by the board of directors. Repair cost 38 million, probability of 10%, 28 million repair cost, probability of 30%, 18 million repair cost, probability of 25%, and 8 million repair cost, probability of 35%. Dahil sa given problem, meron kang large population of items, iba-iba yung amount ng repair cost and yung probability ng mga yon, kailangan mong kunin yung expected value. Para makuha mo yung expected value, i-multiply mo lang yung bawat amount sa respective probability na binigay. Yung 38 million, i-multiply mo sa 10%, then 3.8 million. 28 million sa 30%, 8.4 million. 18 million multiplied by 25%, 4.5 million. And yung 8 million multiplied by 35%, 2.8 million. Total of 19,500,000 as your expected value. Midpoint. Kapag naman may continuous range of possible outcomes, and each point in that range is as likely as any other, ang measurement basis naman na gagamitin natin is midpoint. Illustrative example, in 20X1, a lawsuit was filed against U.N.O for patent infringement. The plaintiff is claiming 88 million in damages. Omni's legal counsel believes that it is probable that Omni will lose the lawsuit and pay damages of not less than 8 million but not more than 88 million. The probability of any amount within the range is as likely as any other amount also within the range. The plaintiff was offered to settle the lawsuit out of court for 80 million but Omni did not agree to the settlement. How much is provision to be reported in Omni's year-end financial statement? Dahil sabi sa problem, probable na matalo sa lawsuit sa ABC at provide siya ng not less than 8 million but not more than 88, may continuous range of possible outcome. Ang gagawin natin is midpoint. Para makompute yung midpoint, yung 8 million add sa 88 million then divide it by 2. Total is 48 million. Yan yung magiging amount ng provision. Recording the provision. Normally, nire-record natin ang provision, debit to expense or loss account, and credit to estimated liability account. Example natin kanina sa best estimate, yung pag-record ng provision doon is debit to environmental cleanup cost and credit to estimated liability for cleanup cost amounting to 30 million. Risk and uncertainties. Dahil nga uncertain, may instances na baka mamali yung estimate o baka mamali yung assumption, kaya nagpo-provide yung entity ng allowance or risk adjustment factor. However, dapat maging cautious o maingat yung entity sa pagpo-provide nito dahil baka sobrang lumaki yung allowance at nagkasya siya to overstate liabilities. Present value. Ang sinasabi lang dito, if yung time value o yung halaga ng money mo in the future may probably increase or decrease, yung present value in the current reporting period ng obligation is a settle mo in the future would be the value that you need to settle regardless kung tumaas or bumaba man yung value ng obligation mo in the future. Future event. If yung future events may high probability na mangyari, kino-consider siya when estimating a provision. For example, a new law that will increase the amount of penalty will be enacted. It is also considered if it is virtually certain that it will be enacted. Expected disposal of assets. Hindi siya sinasama sa pagme-measure ng provision dahil sa ibang account siya kasama at nire-recognize lang siya kapag na-dispose na yung asset. Reimbursement of asset. Nire-recognize na ang reimbursement asset that is virtually certain or may almost 100% chance na makakatanggap ng reimbursement. Example, MRC Co. is engaged in logistics services. During the year, a warehouse was destroyed by fire. It was estimated that MRC will probably pay around 10 million in damages caused to the goods owned by customers that were contained in the destroyed warehouse. The contents of the warehouse at any given point of time are insured for 1 million. MRC's claim for the insurance has been approved for payment by the insurance company. Record the loss, debit loss on fire, credit to, estimated liability on casualty na 10 million which is given sa problem. Then kung mapapansin nyo, yung claim for reimbursement nire-record as separate asset because it is virtually certain. Debit to insurance claim receivable na 1 million and credit to gain on insurance 1 million. Changes in provision. Yung changes in provision, treated siya as a change in accounting estimate and therefore accounted for prospectively. Meaning, di mo na kailangan i-restate yung financial statements mo ng mga nakaraang taon. Application of the recognition and measurement rules. For future operating losses, no provision is recognized dahil di nito na-meet yung definition ng liability which is arising from past events. Onerous contract. An onerous contract is a loss contract that cannot be avoided. In this kind of contract, yung cost na required para ma-fulfill mo yung agreement is higher than dun sa economic benefit na ma-obtain mo from the agreement. If an entity ay na-identify na yung contract is onerous, then provision must be made in the amount of the unavoidable cost of fulfilling it. Yung unavoidable cost is either net cost of fulfilling the contract or penalty, whichever is lower. Example, except for aqua parks, swimmers also operate 2 team hotels in Aqualandia. Hotels are held under non-cancelable operating leases that expire in 3 years. Swimmers manager estimate that due to overall decrease in the number of visitors, hotels will make an annual loss of 1 million each year if continuing operations. Swimmers may also prematurely terminate the lease but with penalty of 2 million. What should swimmers co do in its financial statement in relation to this situation? So, analyze ulit natin kung may present obligation ba? Yes. Kung mayroong outflow probable? Yes. And kung estimated ba siya reliably? Yes. So, mag-recognize tayo ng provision. How to calculate provision? So, sabi kanina, yung mas mababa daw na amount sa penalty sa kanyang net cost of fulfilling the contract. Ang penalty mo is given 2 million. Yung loss in case of completing the contract, sabi niya may annual loss ka na 1 million and dahil 3-year period, 1M times 3 years, 3 million. So, ang record mo is yung 2 million dahil yun yung mas mababa yung amount. Restructuring. It is a program planned and controlled by management that materially changes either the scope or manner of business. To make it simple, ang example ng restructuring is yung kapag nagsara yung isang business location sa isang country or region para lumipat sa ibang location. O kaya naman, nagbago ng product line yung isang business o nagbago ng management structure isang entity. In recognizing provision for restructuring costs, sinusunod pa rin natin yung general recognition criteria. But in addition to that, kinoconsider din natin itong mga sumusunod. In case of sale of operation, nire-recognize lang siya as a provision if yung binding sale agreement is na-obtained on or before the end of the reporting period. Kapag after reporting period na siya na-obtained, then disclosure na lang. In case of closure of reorganization, nire-recognize o ina-accrue lang siya if na-meet yung dalawang conditions na to. Pag may formal plan na in-adopt and in-announce ito publicly on or before the end of the reporting period, note that if mere board decision lang ang meron to restructure a business, hindi ito enough. Restructuring provision on acquisition or merger. Accrue provision only if yung both conditions na to na met. Announced at acquisition and detailed formal plan is adopted within a short period of time after acquisition or 3 months. Kapag naman future operating losses, hindi natin siya nire-recognize. Measurement of restructuring provision. Ang kasama lang sa measurement is yung mga direct costs necessarily for restructuring a business. Hindi natin sinasama yung mga costs related sa ongoing or future conduct ng business. At hindi din natin sinasama yung mga costs sa retraining or relocating continuing staff, marketing, and investment in new system and distribution networks. Example. As of December 31, 20X1, ABC Co. has adopted a detailed formal plan to close one of its toy divisions and put up a new division to manufacture warfare weapons. The plan was communicated through a public announcement, and all of those affected by the closure were informed. ABC estimates the following costs in relation to the closure of the division. Kanina natin yan, babasahin sa isa. Ang amount lang nung restructuring provision is yung 1 million and termination benefits of employees. Yung cost of restraining and relocating new system and distribution networks, saka yung marketing cost, di siya sinasama kasi for future conduct na siya ng business. Yung payment for unpaid purchases na 4 million, dito siya sa accounts payable. And yung expected losses during the first year na 20 million, di na siya nire-recognize. Other common types of provision, guarantees and warranties. Product warranties and guarantees, premiums, and guarantee for indebtedness of others. The first, warranty. Ang warranty, ito mostly na-encounter natin pag nag-purchase tayo ng mga appliances, gadgets, and the like. Para mas magas natin, let's have an example. The milk company sells washing machines that carry a 3-year warranty against manufacturer's defects. Based on the entity's experience, warranty costs are estimated at 300 pesos per machine. During the current year, the entity sold 2,400 washing machines and paid warranty costs of 170,000. So the question is, what amount should be reported as warranty expense for the year? Para makompute natin to, i-multiply natin yung estimated warranty cost per machine, which is 300 pesos, sa total units sold, which is 2,400. So, ang total warranty expense for the year is 720,000. Next, what amount should be reported as warranty liability at year-end? So, i-deduct lang natin yung warranty expense dun sa warranty payment para makuha natin yung warranty liability na 550,000. Next is premiums. Yung premiums, ginagamit siya ng entity for sales promotion. GB Company started a new promotional program. For every 10 backstops, return, and remittance of 50, customers receive a tumbler. The entity estimated that only 60% of the backstop reaching the market would be redeemed. Sale of product, 100,000 unit, amount 30 million, tumblers purchased 5,500 unit, amount 4,125,000, and tumblers distributed 4,000. Para makompute natin yung premium expense for the year, kukunin natin yung maximum coupons na pwedeng ma-redeem. Yung 100,000 na units kanina sa sales, i-divide yun sa 10 backstops na requirement ng entity, which is equals to 10,000. Then, i-multiply natin siya sa 60% estimated redemption percentage. So, may 6,000 na coupons likely to be redeemed. Then, yung 6K, i-multiply natin sa cost ng every premium less yung cash remittance para makompute natin yung cost ng every premium. I-divide natin yung 4,125,000 na total amount ng biniling premium sa 5,500 na units, which is equal to 750 pesos minus yung 50 pesos na cash remittance, total of 700. So, 6,000 multiplied to 700, that is 4,200,000 pesos. That will be the premium expense. Then, para makakuha natin yung estimated liability, yung number of coupons likely to be redeemed na 6,000, minus natin dun sa actual na na-distribute na tumbler na 4,000, may balance tayo na 2,000, times yung cost o amount nung every premium na 700 pesos, total of 1,400,000. Yun yung magiging estimated liability natin. Guarantee for indebtedness of others. Dito, usually, hindi nag-recognize ng liability si guarantor when making guarantees. Pero pag probable na magkaroon ng liability si guarantor, halimbawa, pang na-default yung original debtor, mara-recognize siya as a provision dahil magiging liable na si guarantor. That will be the end of the discussion. Thank you for listening.